the hospital in LA, Nick and Sharon prepare to face Noah after he gave them the boot last night. Entering the hall, they notice the guard is gone. When they enter his room, they are shocked to discover he is not there. A nurse is clearing up. She explains that Noah checked himself out and dismissed the guard. No one could stop him since he's an adult. The parents start to panic. They attempt to call their son and have no luck. Nick can guess where Noah has gone. Noah lumbers into the shadow room, ignoring calls from his dad. It is empty, save for Mitch. "Well, look who is back from the dead," he says, noting that Noah seems on edge. He assumes that's because his parents have told him he's creepy Matt Clark. Noah admits it's an extreme accusation. Mitch insists they are mistaken. He reminds Noah that he has been his champion and has gone out of his way to support him. So, why is he repaying his good turn by sleeping with his wife? When Noah tries to cover and changes the subject to the club, Mitch cuts him off and declares that's over. He demands to know who initiated the affair and how long it has been going on. Mitch becomes more livid as he accuses him of trying to steal what's his. Noah repeats that his relationship with Sienna is strictly platonic. After Mitch says that he has failed to respect his boundaries, Noah heads for the door. Burrow stops him to question him about the crash. He insists they go to the crash scene. Lily and Nate duck out of work after they hear that the peppermint hot chocolate is back at the Chancellor Park Cafe. As they sip, he admits he's feeling glee about the poetic justice of Cain being burned by his own AI. He's surprised when she tells him how lost and vulnerable her ex seemed the last time she saw him. Nate senses she feels bad for him and wonders what that means. Lily says it's nice to know the good part of Cain might still exist. Her cousin can understand her wanting to believe that. He felt that way for Audra, but he doesn't think she can be the person he wants her to be, so he's moving on. Lily admits she's not sure she's moved on. After Lily departs, Nate is about to head to the office when he bumps into Victoria. She's also ducked out for some hot chocolate and asks him to join her. They discuss her trip to LA and how relieved she is about Noah's recovery. She also told her daughter about her concerns regarding Holden. Claire seems to have figured some things out. Victoria still worries about what's next for her. She realizes she's keeping Nate from work, and he confesses he wanted to spend time with her. The Newman hopes he's moving on from Audra and suggests she distract him with dinner. At Society, Cain looks into Phyllis's eyes and asks if she's trying to seduce him. They agree the heat between them is mutual. He admits he's flattered and intrigued. When she suggests they explore this, he reminds her he still loves Lily. Phyllis reminds him that his ex doesn't want to be with the person he is now and teases him, suggesting he write poetry. He knows he might be wasting his time, but he can't give up now. She knows it's hell to love someone without reciprocation. Phyllis suggests he brought up Lily to defend himself against her seduction. She says they are alike and she's attracted to him, sexually and professionally. If he'll admit he feels the same, he'll be better off. She doesn't care about Lily and goes after what she wants. As she stands, she suggests he make a fresh start and kisses him. Lily arrives as Phyllis pulls her lips away and exits. "Do I even want to know what the hell that was about?" she asks. Stuttering, he says Phyllis was just playing games and he's working an angle with her. He is adamant that Dumas is over and he's still the man she fell in love with. She tells him that trust was broken and it's not fixed immediately. Lily can still see the man he was, but he's changed, and so has she. "I'll just never be enough for you?" he asks, accusing her of putting him down. They could have gotten back what they once had, but she obviously doesn't want that. It seems like she never loved him as much as he thought she did. Cain heads straight to the athletic club, where he easily finds Phyllis at the bar. He announces that he is ready to cut all ties to the past and look to the future. "What are you doing tonight?" he asks. Back in LA, Nick and Sharon arrive at the shadow room, but their son is gone. Mitch claims he has no idea where Noah is and hasn't seen him. Nick pointedly asks where Sienna is. They demand answers, and Mitch declares it's not his problem. Nick threatens to force the information he needs out of him, so Mitch goads them about being helicopter parents and threatens to have them arrested. Nick threatens that he's a dead man if he did something to his son. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Phyllis and Cain take a dangerous step. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Monday, November 17th, suggest that Lily feels a need to defend an ex. Cain? Billy? From Big Bad Adam and Chelsea, while Cain makes his own decision regarding Phyllis. Lily no longer loves Cain. She keeps telling him this repeatedly. Lily no longer loves Billy. She has told him this repeatedly. Yet, when Big Bad Chelsea and Adam go after either one of them, Lily isn't about to stand by and let it happen without letting them know how Lily feels about it. It is cute, though, how Lily thinks Chelsea and Adam are allowed to make their own decisions, rather than just being Victor's puppets. Victor recently screwed Lily over, too. She should go straight to him with her complaints. Phyllis stole Cain's computer program, gave it to Victor to destroy Jabot, then expressed shock when he turned it on Cain instead. How could she, the smartest woman who ever lived, certainly the smartest person in any room, have been fooled by the man who lies to everyone and always wins? Are Phyllis's romantic overtures to Cain part of a plan to get back at Victor, or a way to get Cain to forgive her when the truth inevitably comes out? Or is it just a case of all of her other romantic prospects, Nick, Billy, Jack, are currently, stupidly, in love with other women? So why not go after the new single man in town? Claire slept with Holden. Then she decided they didn't have a future together. She forgot to tell Holden, though. He'd like to know where they stand. And he's a lot less whiny about it than Kyle when he asks the same question. The Young and the Restless preview video for the week of November 17th to 21 reveals that Sharon Newman will face some fire alarm panic before menacing Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, ambushes her. YNR's weekly promo begins with Claire Newman, who tells Holden Novak that they need to talk about what happened in LA. Based on Holden's expression, he'll clearly assume Claire's about to give him bad news. Claire has been brushing Holden off ever since they returned home, so he may assume their romantic entanglement is over. Although Claire claims she doesn't regret hitting the sheets with Holden, she may acknowledge that life is different in Genoa City. Claire had a great time with Holden in Los Angeles, but she may give him a speech about focusing on work now and suggest they're better off as friends. However, Holden may worry that he scared Claire off with the stolen wallet fiasco story, or that her feelings for Kyle Abbott are still in the way. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summers will purr in Cain Ashby's ear and make sure she has his attention. Cain and Phyllis will have a makeout session that could easily lead to some passion in her bed next. YNR's weekly preview video also shows Sienna Bacall urging an unconscious Noah Newman to wake up. As Noah regains consciousness, he groggily wonders what happened to him. Based on the clip, the two of them appear to be in some storage room or warehouse space, so Detective Burrow might lock Sienna and Noah up together on Matt's orders. Whatever the case, it looks like Noah will have to recover from getting knocked out. Sienna may also admit Noah's parents are right, since she did some digging online and found photos of Matt, aka Mitch, when he was living in GC. In Sharon's hotel room, she'll freak out when an alarm starts going off in the building. It seems someone will pull the fire alarm, so Sharon will grab her purse and start to head out the door. Once Sharon opens it, she'll be horrified to find Matt standing there with an evil expression. "You!" Sharon exclaims as Matt glares back at her in the weekly promo. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Matt's behavior will take an even more disturbing turn in the coming episodes, so stay tuned for updates on all the horror to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Matt Clark is playing a dark game with Sharon Newman and Nick Newman, but Matt's wife, Sienna Bacall, knows the truth, and that shifts momentum. Nick has been on Sienna since he first met her. She stonewalled his initial questions about Noah Newman because of their hidden affair, but Sienna's natural trepidation about protecting her marriage has dropped. What Nick told her about Mitch's true identity chilled Braun's character to the bone, and she confronted him immediately after the hospital showdown. Sienna doesn't know Mitch's parents or his childhood, or even early adulthood friends. That's because Mitch is a creation of Matt's mind. Devoted fans knew that Sharon was right the moment she saw Matt entering the shadow room. He wasn't Mitch, but rather the man who brutally attacked her decades ago in Genoa City, Wisconsin. Matt's wife reacted as any spouse who has been part of a complex ruse would. She was enraged and sought him out at the club. He played the same denial cards that were verbally thrown at Nick and Sharon, but then reverted to the man Morrow's character said he was, threatening Sienna not to go to the police. When pressed, Noah told his father that Matt came into his club in London, England. He was complimentary and pitched expanding Noah's vision to Los Angeles, California. The man Noah knows as Mitch seemed like a good guy. Adams's character felt like the villain because of his romantic involvement with Sienna. It's hard to know at this point in the plot if Matt and Sienna's history caused him to believe she would make a play for Noah. But no matter what proves true, Matt had to know that the Newmans would likely confirm his link to their son and unmask the man who's calling himself Mitch. Depending on what is revealed in the coming days and weeks, it's possible that this isn't the first time Sienna cheated on Matt. If so, and based on his backstory, it's possible that he's setting his wife up for an attempted homicide charge. Detective Burrow is a crooked cop who is on the take, as the envelope full of money that Matt pushed to him across the club's table revealed. Cohen's character might have been the person who forced Noah off the road, which caused the accident, or various other scenarios could be in play. Matt could be targeting Noah as part of a revenge play against Sharon and Nick. Alternatively, Sienna's affair might have solely driven Matt to try and have Noah killed, or a combination of both factors, and potentially others, could be in this charged, soapy storyline. Here are your spoilers for The Young and the Restless for Monday, November 17th to Friday, November 21st, 2025. Be sure to tune in every day to see how things play out in Genoa City. Monday, November 17th. Phyllis and Kane's alliance takes an interesting turn. Claire and Holden clear the air. Lily confronts Adam and Chelsea about their scheming. Victor helps Nick retaliate against Matt Clark. Jack interrogates Nikki. Phyllis and Kane turn up the heat. Nikki gives Claire a history lesson. Audra plots her next move. Lily commiserates with Holden. Nick digs for dirt. Noah and Sienna fall into a trap. Sharon stands her ground with Matt Clark family, and friends gather for cricket and Danny's long-awaited wedding. Courtney Hope believes this love interest was Sally's best match. Courtney Hope's character. Sally has had many romance throughout the years. From her days on The Bold and the Beautiful to The Young and the Restless, she's been paired with many handsome leading men. But when it comes to the best, Hope says one man stands out among the rest. With Sally as one of Y&R's leading ladies, fans are accustomed to seeing her with some of the show's top leading men. But long before coming to Genoa City, Sally called Los Angeles home and attracted the attention of many B&B hunks. D&B fans will remember Sally's relationship with Wyatt and her crush on Liam. But there was one man who swept Sally off her feet from the beginning. When Sally arrived in LA, she was intent on relaunching her aunt's company, Spectra Fashions. However, Sally's plan renewed a rivalry with the Forresters. While the Forrester family wanted to destroy Sally, Thomas found himself falling for the redhead. Thomas and Sally, aka Tally, quickly became the show's cutest couple. Although their relationship ended when Thomas reunited with Caroline, fans will never forget Tally's amazing chemistry. While Sally's had many love interests, as Hope explained to Swoon, Thomas holds a special place in Sally's heart. He was Sally's first love. She had come to Los Angeles and was all, "I don't need a man. I'm here to work." Then Thomas came along. He set the bar, Hope revealed. After enduring heartache from Thomas and Wyatt, Sally moved to Genoa City for a fresh start. While she was focused on work, she soon caught the attention of some of Y&R's eligible suitors. First there was Jack, then Adam, and then Nick. Currently, Sally is in a relationship with Billy. The couple got together after they were cheated on by their exes, Adam and Chelsea. Sally's hope that everything will be different with Billy is slowly diminishing. Billy's recent debacle with Abbott Communications and Kane angered the redhead and had her contemplating their relationship. Luckily, Billy gave up his plan with Kane to concentrate on Sally and Abbott Communications. At the moment, things are going smoothly for Sally and Billy. But chances are, Billy's going to revert to his old ways and cause more heartache for Sally. If and when Sally and Billy's relationship ends, one has to wonder who her next love interest will be. Does Holden make a connection that isn't Claire? And Noah and Sienna fall into a trap. Does Mitch/Matt set that trap? Next week, on The Young and the Restless, the heat Phyllis and Kane generated on Friday's episode continues. So does that mean Kane really doesn't care about finding out who stole his AI program, which was subsequently used on Arabesque? Meanwhile, Holden connects with Lily, and Phyllis's rival, Christine, gets married to Danny. Will things go smoothly on their big day? Here's what is happening on Y&R during the week of November 17, 2024. That kiss that Phyllis and Kane shared during Friday's episode doesn't end there. Apparently, the two will be sharing space and more next week. On Monday, their alliance takes an interesting turn. Then later in the week, they turn the heat up. While Phyllis connects with Kane, it's finally time for Danny and Christine's wedding. Family and friends gather for their long-awaited wedding. We'll get to see Michael officiate, Lauren act as matron of honor, Daniel as best man, and we'll find out which dress Cricket wears as she walks down the aisle. Additionally, we'll see if they are really serving those mini donuts instead of a wedding cake. Don't worry, Genoa City's corporate games will also take front and center next week. Look for Jack to interrogate Nikki, most likely about whether or not the mustache is coming for Jabot with the not-so-secret AI superweapon that has supposedly decimated Kane's company. Phyllis gave it to Victor. So naturally, Jack would assume his company is next. Meanwhile, Audra is the only person in GC that is unhireable. She tries and things never seem to work out for her. Even Sally, her bestie, can't bring her on to Abbott Communications yet because Jill rejected her Audra pitch. And Jill holds the purse strings, but Audra is forever tenacious. She starts to plot her next move. What will that involve? Lily confronts Adam and Chelsea about their scheming. To be fair, they really are scheming. Victor wants to go after Jack, so he is entrusting Adam and Chelsea to cause a huge distraction. Adam's plan is to go after Billy and cause an Abbott Communications uproar, and that's when Victor can unleash the AI program on Jabot. Add that to Newman Media's various hit pieces focusing on Billy and Kane, and no wonder Lily takes it upon herself to unload on Adam and Chelsea. But that's not the only thing Lily is up to next week. Look for the Winters exec to commiserate with Holden of all people. Holden and Lily are in a precarious place with Claire and Kane respectively. Do the two manage to create a connection from this conversation? It's time to check in with the Los Angeles crew. Nick, not so surprisingly, digs for dirt. He and Sharon will not let up on Mitch/Matt, but they need to be smart about it. So this could be about finding intel they can use on Matt, or discover what he has been up to during his LA era. While Nick digs for dirt, Sharon stands her ground with Matt Clark. What will the exes learn about this guy next week? Finally, Noah and Sienna didn't do a very good job of hiding their relationship. Nick spotted them kissing, and it turns out that Mitch/Matt knew about it too. Despite Noah trying to gaslight Mitch and lie about their sneaking around behind Mitch's back, Sienna and Noah are about to fall into a trap. The question is, does Matt set that trap, or does he have his cop pal, Detective Burrow, do it? Is she really attracted to him, or is she trying to wrap him around her finger? On The Young and the Restless, November 14th episode, Phyllis ramped up her seduction plan. She hopes that Kane will succumb to her charm. But is there a reason why she's seducing him? Phyllis continued to charm Kane in Friday's episode. It felt like a scene from the 1967 film The Graduate. Phyllis wanted to know if Kane is seducible, and he wanted to know if she's seducing him. Kane told Phyllis that he was flattered and intrigued. Phyllis wanted to know where their relationship could go. So far, it's been strictly professional and flirtatious. But there's one problem. Kane is still in love with Lily. He told Phyllis that he didn't want to lead her on. Kane doesn't want to give up on their love and their family. But Phyllis thinks their relationship is doomed. She wasn't going to mince words during their flirty conversation. She's attracted him, despite his misdeeds. Phyllis put out the feelers, letting Kane know that she was available. Then, she told Kane that she's attracted to him, not only emotionally and professionally, but sexually as well. She believed they could relate to one another, especially since they're both outsiders. Phyllis kissed him, and Kane allowed it to happen. So much for Lily and Kane's reconciliation. Phyllis claims she's attracted to him. She claimed they're more alike than they are different. But what's really going on with Phyllis? Why is she seducing Kane? This is the same woman who stole his AI program and then gave it to Victor, who's now using it to destroy Kane. Phyllis is upset and wants to make it right with Kane. She doesn't want him to suspect her. She already has a feeling that he's on to her. Her seduction proved that Kane is putty in her hands. Phyllis should give a masterclass in manipulation. She lied to Kane without blinking. The redhead looked right into his eyes as she fed him lines. Phyllis now has Kane wrapped around her fingers so she could convince him that she can be trusted. She's trying to distract him with her faux loyalty. Kane is 100% sure that Phyllis stole the program. He later told Lily, who had walked in on them, that Phyllis loves to play games, which could be foreshadowing what's to come. If he gets involved with Phyllis, Kane will ultimately get played. Phyllis is only concerned about Phyllis at the end of the day. She also knows that Kane is determined to find out who has his AI program. She resorted to sex so he wouldn't suspect a thing, and doesn't care if she hurts Lily in the process. Will Lily stand by Kane after all he's done? Lily's patience finally runs out as Kane and Phyllis's connection crosses the line, and nothing in Genoa City will be the same. In the November 14th episode of The Young and the Restless, Kane's inability to let go of the past collided with Phyllis's calculated charm, leading to a moment that destroyed what little trust remained with Lily. One kiss, witnessed at the worst possible time, became the spark that could reshape every emotional and professional alliance around them. Kane and Phyllis met at society, where playful barbs gave way to dangerous honesty. Phyllis pushed him to face the truth, that his obsession with proving himself to Lily had become self-destructive. He defended his love as loyalty, but Phyllis saw it for what it was: a cage. Beneath the sparring, their attraction simmered until it finally broke the surface. In one impulsive moment, Phyllis kissed him, and Kane didn't pull away. But what began as an escape ended in humiliation when Lily walked in and saw everything. Kane scrambled to claim it meant nothing, that Phyllis was manipulating him. Lily didn't buy it. What she saw wasn't temptation. It was confirmation that the man she once loved was still stuck in the same self-inflicted cycle of pain and pride. For Lily, the kiss marked the final collapse of patience. She's forgiven Kane before, but this moment felt different. She's no longer angry. She's simply done. In that clarity, Lily's emotional detachment became her strength. Watching her walk away wasn't just a loss for Kane. It was the first true consequence of his refusal to evolve. For Phyllis, however, it was a victory cloaked in chaos. She's always thrived at the intersection of power and vulnerability, and she sees something in Kane that mirrors her own ambition. His pain doesn't repel her. It intrigues her. If Lily represented redemption, Phyllis represents reinvention. By the end of the episode, Kane sought Phyllis out again. His tone shifted from guilt to determination. He admitted she was right. His past has nothing left to offer him. The two agreed to look forward, but the cost of that decision could be steep. Kane may believe he's choosing freedom, but aligning with Phyllis means stepping into a world defined by risk, desire, and blurred boundaries. Lily's heart may have closed the door, but Phyllis just opened another, one that could consume them both. Who wants Tessa with Daniel? On the November 13th episode of The Young and the Restless, Tessa admitted to Daniel that she fears her marriage is over. No matter how hard she works, Mariah continues to push Tessa away. They may be headed for divorce. Daniel asked what he could do, and Tessa asked him to just be a friend. He said he could do that. But what if this is the start of something much more dangerous? Tessa is still holding out hope for a reunion with Mariah, while facing the reality that it might not happen. Daniel, on the other hand, knows he and Heather will never reunite, because she's dead. So while Daniel promises to be a friend to Tessa, and nothing more, he can't control what other people might think about the relationship. People like Daniel's daughter, Lucy. She hasn't been around for months. Where is she? Boarding school? On tour with Danny? Wherever they keep Christian Newman? When she was in Genoa City, Lucy hated the idea of her dad dating Lily. She did everything she could think of to reunite Daniel and Heather, but that can't happen now, which means Lucy needs a new obsession. How about Tessa? But this time around, instead of wanting to keep Daniel from Lily, Lucy can focus on getting her dad together with Tessa, no matter what. That means she needs to make sure Mariah is out of the picture for good. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of November 17, 2025. It shows Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, ambushing Sharon Newman when she's alone. Sienna Bacall finds Noah Newman unconscious in the alley. Plus, Claire Grace Newman and Holden Novak talk about their passion in Los Angeles. Let's start from the beginning, and just a heads up, it's a very exciting preview clip. First off, we have Claire, who approaches Holden in Genoa City. Now that the blonde has had some time to think about things, she's ready to talk about what happened with Holden in LA. Holden might be prepared for a letdown, but Claire could also have a change of heart. Claire mentioned before there was nothing between her and Holden, but maybe she is willing to try? I personally think they look great together. Claire seemed to have a lot more fun in bed with Holden than she does with Kyle Abbott too. Claire is more logical and cautious, while Holden loves life in the fast lane. They could actually balance each other out. Over with Phyllis, she smiles as she asks Kane Ashby if she has his attention. Then, the two passionately kiss, and it looks like it's going to lead to more. However, what are the chances that Lily Winters happens to walk in? She has no room to get jealous now that she told Kane that he has zero chance with her. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of November 17th reveal that the last we saw Noah, he tried to leave the shadow room. However, Noah was cornered by Detective Burrow, who wasn't letting him go without answering questions. While that was going on, Matt/Mitch left the club to deal with Sharon. After Matt/Mitch left the club, Sienna comes across Noah's body in the alley. Clearly, the detective, or another one of Matt/Mitch's goons, beat Noah to the point where he lost consciousness. Sienna tries to wake him up, and Noah does open his eyes, but asks what happened. As for Sharon, she appears to be alone in a hotel room. Then, the fire alarms go off. At first, Sharon doesn't know what's going on. Then, she quickly grabs her purse and starts running out the door. However, when Sharon opens the door, she faces a menacing face. Matt, Mitch, which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of November 17th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest that Victor Newman might be preparing for 3 schemes to sabotage romance, aiming to shield some unfortunate Newman hearts. Y&R viewers are aware that Victor often believes he has the right answers regarding the romantic affairs of his children and grandchildren. Victor is consistently ready to step in and guide his loved ones onto a new course if necessary. This is precisely why we should be genuinely worried about the emergence of some new romantic sabotage plots taking shape. Let's delve into the potential individuals who could be impacted by Victor's audacious actions and explore any romantic disasters he might be contemplating. Among his children and grandchildren, there are no fewer than 3 couples that Victor believes require his assistance. He will have absolutely no hesitation in attempting to help these couples to uncouple. Victoria Newman and Nate Hastings did not succeed in their initial attempt at a relationship, so, given that, Victor is likely to harbor significant reservations about their ability to forge a lasting connection this time as well. Previously, Victor experienced feelings of betrayal from Nate, and he might still hold that grudge if Nate were to pursue a romantic relationship with Victoria once more. Although it appears that Nate and Victoria are on the verge of rekindling their romance, Victor may very well intervene to sabotage their renewed relationship. He will quite likely want to put an end to this new chapter in their lives. Noah Newman is evidently quite taken with Sienna Bacall, even though she is married to Mitch Bacall, aka Matt Clark, and they are currently entangled in a complicated situation. However, it seems that this will not deter Sienna and Noah from pursuing their romance. In fact, there's a possibility that Noah and Sienna could evolve into a genuine couple once she relocates to Genoa City in the future. This development could infuriate Matt even further. But Sienna and Noah will also need to be cautious of Victor's disapproval. Victor is unlikely to approve of Noah being with Sienna, and he may take it upon himself to try to separate them. Claire Newman appears ready to leave Holden Novak behind, but her choice might not be final. Holden has feelings for Claire and could fight to keep her. Victor disapproves of Claire's connection with a shady character and prefers she focus on her career. If there's a chance Holden can win Claire back, Victor might act quickly to prevent it. He has already tried to undermine Claire and Kyle Abbott's relationship, later claiming it was just a test for Kyle. If Claire and Holden's romance progresses, they could also face Victor's sabotage. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Friday, November 14th, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, to trap Noah Newman. Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers get busted, which will send Lily Winters reeling. Plus, Victoria Newman faces temptation. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Victoria, who is still trying to go on with her life after Cole Howard's death. It's been a few months now, and Victoria has been lonely, with her kids busy with their own lives. However, she has reconnected with Nate Hastings on a platonic level. The two have been helping each other get through their ordeals in life. Nate has always been a good guy to lean on for support. Even though they are just friends, they were together romantically in the past. Could they reignite their former romance? I, for one, would love to see that. They were really great together. Over with Kane and Phyllis, they seem to get ready to cross a line. Despite Phyllis stealing the AI program, she hasn't confessed to it. In fact, the redhead keeps swearing up and down that she's innocent. There also seems to be an attraction with the two. Could they end up sharing a kiss? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, November 14th reveal that Lily will make a shocking discovery that has her reeling. Lately, it seems anything involving Kane makes Lily explode. So, what are the chances that she catches Kane and Phyllis sharing a close moment? As for Noah, he will get trapped by Matt/Mitch. Fans know that Noah just realized how dangerous the villain is. The patient is also having an affair with Mitch's wife, Sienna Bacall, which just makes things even more complicated. Remember, Matt/Mitch told Detective Burrow to get rid of the security guard at Noah's hospital door. So it sounds like Mitch is going to ambush Noah in his hospital room. However, the security guard could alert Nick Newman about being sent away from his post. Another possibility is that Nick Newman or Sharon Newman comes in before Matt/Mitch can do anything to Noah. In any case, Noah is in grave danger. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Friday, November 14th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to check back with Celebrating the Soaps for all the latest Young and the Restless spoilers, news, rumors, comings and goings, and updates. Young and the Restless spoilers for next week sizzle, and some scary stuff too, because Phyllis Summers is busy getting busy. She is seducing somebody. Plus, Noah Newman is violently assaulted and kidnapped. We've got the latest Y&R spoilers for the week of November 17th. All right, let's start with what is going on with Noah's very worried mom, Sharon Newman. By the end of this week, she is upset to find out Noah went and checked himself out of the hospital without calling or notifying her and his dad, Nick Newman. The hospital tells them, he's an adult, and the doctor said he could go, so he went. Sharon and Nick are freaking out when they come to the hospital and see Noah's room is empty. The guard didn't even bother to warn them. That ticks them off understandably. Of course, when Sharon and Nick try repeatedly to call Noah, well, he's not answering their calls. So, they head over to the shadow room to confront Matt Clark. And guess what? That's also where Noah went when he left the hospital. Now, he wasn't looking for Mitch. He was actually looking for Sienna, but that's not who he found. Mitch said he's glad to see Noah on his feet, and he's acting all nice. And then Matt turns up the heat and confronts Noah about his affair with his wife Sienna. But like all cheaters, of course, Noah denies it. And he claims he and Sienna are just friends. Mitch does not buy it and says Noah repaid his kindness by sleeping with his wife. Mitch calls Noah a liar and a cheat and wants to know if he slept with Sienna in their marriage bed. Then sketchy cop Detective Burrow shows up with questions for Noah about the accident. Burrow wants to take Noah for a drive out to the crash site to see if it jogs his memory, but he doesn't want to go with the detective. He says he's got to go meet his parents, Sharon and Nick. But Burrow says that's not a request. He tells Noah he has no choice, and since Burrow's got a badge, well, off he goes. After the dirty cop takes Noah away, of course, that's when Sharon and Nick show up and confront Mitch, but he plays dumb and says he hasn't seen Noah. And then Mitch further claims he thought Noah was still in the hospital and tells Sharon and Nick that they are not welcome at his club. Sharon and Nick are threatening to force the truth out of Mitch after they ask him where Sienna is, and maybe she's seen Noah, so Mitch tells Nick, "I have no idea where Sienna is, and even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you and Sharon. You need to go away." Mitch Matt says that Noah is probably trying to get away from Nick and Sharon because they are annoying helicopter parents, and Nick and Sharon are threatening to call the cops. And Mitch Matt says, "Fine, I'll have you arrested for trespassing and threatening me." And Nick says if Mitch Matt did anything to Noah, he's a dead man. Yet another threat. So next week we are going to find out what happened after bad guy Detective Burrow took Noah from the shadow room. Looks like Burrow also snatched Sienna because Noah is unconscious and Sienna's trapped with Noah. They're in some sort of room. Looks like they're locked in maybe a cell. Probably just some basement room somewhere. And Sienna is trying desperately to wake up Noah. He's very disoriented and is asking Sienna what happened. So I think Mitch Matt had Burrow stash Sienna and Noah so he can torment them later. Elsewhere next week, Sharon is lying down in her hotel room when the fire alarm goes off. And of course, she grabs her purse, rushes to get out the door. But when she opens it, guess what? Matt is standing there, looking menacing, a little terrifying. Sharon gasps and yells out, "You!" She's all alone. She's at his mercy. So I wonder if Matt is about to play Pokemon and collect them all. Collect all of his enemies and dump them in that same closet. So that means Nick might be the next one to go after Matt gets hold of Sharon. I feel like this story is about to jump into hyperdrive as we head into the last week and a half of November sweeps. So Mitch may be dead soon if Sharon gets her way. I mean, Nick's already threatened to kill him. Sharon's threatened to kill him. I feel like the guy is headed for the cemetery. Also at the end of this week at Society, Kane Ashby wants to know if Phyllis is trying to seduce him. And Kane admits that if Phyllis is flirting with him, he would be flattered. He'd be intrigued. And Kane also wants to remind Phyllis he's still in love with Lily Winters. But Phyllis says, "You know what, Kane? That's never going to happen." And Phyllis makes it very clear that she thinks she and Kane are a good match emotionally, professionally, and according to her, sexually. And then Phyllis kisses Kane just as Lily walks in. The queen of timing. Phyllis says she would never ask Kane to change on Young and the Restless, obviously drawing the difference between her and Lily, and then she takes off. So Kane tells Lily that that was nothing. Phyllis is playing games and he's working an angle on her. But Phyllis clearly made an impression on Kane, telling him that he's never going to get with Lily because Kane makes one last try. And Lily rejects him completely, totally, firmly, even though she was just telling Nate Hastings. Well, maybe, you know. Kane gets upset and says Lily never loved him as much as he loved her. So, broken-hearted Kane chases down Phyllis at the GCAC, and Damian Kane tells her she's right. Time for a fresh start. Tells Phyllis he wants to forget the past, focus on the future, and Kane asks Phyllis if she's free tonight. So next week, Kane is upstairs with Phyllis in her room at the GCAC, and she wants to know if she finally has all of his attention. They're making out, the whole tonsil hockey thing. Kane and Phyllis are getting hot and heavy. And unless somebody interrupts, looks like she may get what she wants and hit the sheets with Kane. Also, next week, Claire Grace Newman is telling Holden Novak that they need to talk about what happened in LA. And I'm sure that was them making love on Halloween, and she was getting all wild. And of course, he's got that big crush on her. So, I wonder if Claire is going to put Holden firmly in the friend zone, or maybe Claire tells Holden it was great. But it was a one and done. I mean, Claire already told Victoria Newman that Holden is not the man for her, but that doesn't mean she won't change her mind. Especially because I think Claire is going to find out. Kyle Abbott is going to find out very soon that Claire slept with Holden. And I think Kyle is going to hassle her about having another man in her bed. Even though Claire broke up with Kyle and she was completely single, but I think he's going to keep on harping about Holden being a bad man and Claire making bad choices, and that could send her running right back into Holden's arms. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Friday, November 14th, reveal some interesting moments as Genoa City heads into the weekend. Sparks fly between two exes, while someone is backed into a corner, and someone stumbles upon two characters in a compromising position. What's on the horizon for Friday's show? Time to find out. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Friday, November 14th, suggest that Lily Winters will catch Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers in a compromising position. Kane and Phyllis were getting very close during the November 13th episode, as they bantered back and forth about who stole his AI software. Will Kane and Phyllis do more than banter? Will they reach in for a kiss? Or will Lily catch them doing more? Over in Los Angeles, Noah Newman will be backed into a corner. With that said, who will be doing this? His father and mother, Nick Newman and Sharon Newman, or someone else? Nick and Sharon were grilling Noah about Sienna Bacall and their romance, and when they mentioned that Mitch Bacall was really Matt Clark, he shunned them from his hospital room. Will Mitch/Matt pay Noah a visit on Friday's show? Finally, The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Friday, reveal that Nate Hastings and Victoria Newman won't be able to ignore their chemistry. It sounds like the exes-turned-friends could cross a line during the November 14th episode as they give in to passion. They certainly were great together in the bedroom and boardroom. However, their priorities have nicely changed a lot since they were together. Will the two dive into a romantic bona fide reunion? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Friday's show? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to check back with Soap Opera Spy for all the latest The Young and the Restless spoilers, news, rumors, comings and goings, and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Kane Ashby's double betrayal may rock Phyllis Summers. Kane may get payback two devastating ways and leave Phyllis furious as well as heartbroken in the end. Of course, we should point out that Phyllis betrayed Kane first. Phyllis stole the AI program and gave it to Victor Newman, who promptly used it to target Kane's company. That wasn't what Phyllis had in mind since she expected Victor to target Jack Abbott and Jabot instead. Phyllis wants to be in control of Jabot down the road, but that plan may not work out for her either. Victor has promised to hand Jabot over to Phyllis once he's done destroying Jack, but he's not a man who always keeps his promises. Phyllis has already been burned by Victor once since he went after Arabesque, when that wasn't the deal they made. However, it's Kane who Phyllis may really need to watch out for. Phyllis and Kane seem poised to land in bed together based on the preview video for the week of November 17 to 21st, so that'll make things messier between them. This could cause Phyllis' feelings for Kane to grow strong and make her believe they might have a future together. Kane could easily be playing Phyllis and setting her up for some crushing blows. If Kane uses this new layer of their relationship to manipulate Phyllis, he may ultimately pull the rug out from under her. Kane may admit his deception somewhere down the line and make it clear that this was all a ruse. Kane may eventually score proof that Phyllis stole the AI program and dash her dreams of building a real relationship with him. Perhaps Kane could also uncover Phyllis's Jabot takeover goal and manage to gain control of it himself. If Kane ends up in charge of Jabot in the end, he could gloat over that development and deliver yet another infuriating Phyllis setback. Bottom line, Kane could betray Phyllis two ways if he fakes their romance and then steals the Jabot outcome she wanted. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kane may blindside Phyllis with some dirty tricks, so stay tuned for updates on any terrible news ahead. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of November 17th suggest some curveballs. Fans can expect Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, to make another dangerous move. Meanwhile, Audra Charles' secret is at risk. Plus, Danny Romalotti and Christine Cricket Blair get closer to their wedding day. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Audra, whose old secret will be at risk. The brunette learned that Claire Grace Newman was digging, so Holden Novak told the blonde a story. It seems a few facts in the story were true, but Holden likely covered the rest of the time. In any case, Claire could drop a hint to Audra that she's lucky she's not in prison. Of course, Claire is talking about the part of Holden's story where Audra sent him stolen money as a thank you gift. However, it seems the truth is far more sinister. Over with Holden, expect him to be down in the dumps about being rejected. Claire had fun with Holden and enjoyed passion. However, she also admitted she wonders if a part of her is just afraid of commitment. It won't be just Holden that Claire avoids. The blonde will also try to keep away from Kyle Abbott. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for the week of November 17th, reveal that Lily Winters will react following a shocking discovery. It sounds like Lily finds Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers in an awkward position. If Kane wanted any chance with Lily, this probably ruins it for good. As for Noah Newman, he will realize that Nick Newman and Sharon Newman were right all along. Matt Lush Mitch is taking steps to eliminate Noah. We know that Lucas just scored the role, so Noah isn't going to get killed off right now. However, Matt Lush Mitch will be looking to get revenge and punish those he thinks are guilty. Back in Genoa City, expect Danny and Christine to begin their wedding. It's set to kick off on November 21st. Expect returns include Gina Roma and Nina Webster, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of November 17th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll tell you the truth. When The Young and the Restless reintroduced Kane with the hedge maze and without the Australian accent, I was kinda into it. I mean, obviously, the character's change in age and height made no sense whatsoever, but I was sure that the show had learned its lesson from the Tucker debacle and was bringing Kane back to really shake things up. I shouldn't have been so sure. The show hadn't learned its lesson, and Kane hasn't shaken things up. Just like Tucker always talked about his grand plans and never actually managed to accomplish, Kane is doing the same thing. And at this point, I have to ask in all sincerity a question about the character. Are we supposed to feel like he's not right in the head? We've got to be building up to some explanation for why nothing he does makes sense, right? He lied to Lily and his family for years while cosplaying Aristotle Dumas to prove himself to his family and win them back? Huh? But he also wanted to take over every company in Genoa City, which there was never any threat of him doing. That's not a thing you can just walk in and, do. He hasn't even taken over Crimson Lights, for Pete's sake. Kane also insisted when we first were reintroduced to him that he was sure someone was going to try to kill him. But no one did, and no one has. No one other than Phyllis, who's coming off as loony as in her Psycho Vixen days, may like Kane, but they don't hate him enough to unalive him. So what conclusion can we draw from all of this? Kane is unwell. He's gotta be, doesn't he? His actions, his ever-changing plans and motivations smack of some sort of dissociation from reality, a delusional state. If we could just book him a visit to Bold and Beautiful and get him a few sessions with Taylor, maybe she could prescribe something to bring him back to planet Earth and make him a character about whom we care, rather than one by whom we're confused. If nothing else, admitting that Kane has a few loose screws in need of tightening would explain his bizarre behavior. We might feel for him rather than feel aggravated by him, and it would set the stage for him to get better and become the dynamic character that the show needs.